I had a good video last night, but it was too long, I felt. It was over 20 minutes long, and that's too much of your time. But it was about demons and recognizing them within yourself, knowing how they get in, and how to defeat them, and how to help somebody who's in love with their demons or the demons of another. Now, as you may know, my mother-in-law has she's like a wizard. She's a witch. You hear about Owen Benjamin's dad. She is not unlike him, except that her demons are they seek praise. They want attention. She's Munchausen by proxy. She made her daughter kind of her mind control slave. At a very young age, she just used like fear and negativity on her and put it into her and convinced her that she couldn't do anything, that she wasn't capable of doing anything, for the purposes of holding her close, keeping her by her side, and also for the purposes of getting her on social services, for the purposes of money, which is just horrible. I went into a lot more detail about this last night because when I'm over there, I'm really reminded about the situation, and I feel it more intensely. But the gist of it is just that Nikki's mother is she's just a very negative person because she has so much pain inside of her that she has never dealt with. So she holds Nikki close because everybody in her life, including her sister, her brothers, her mother, her father, who she is just like her father. They're exactly the same, and she hates her father. It's fascinating yet horrible. But she's driven everybody away. So she put it on her daughter that her daughter owes her everything, and that her daughter can't get away from her, and to do so would be the gravest sin Nikki could ever commit. So maybe we'll get into a little of that later. But demons. So how to recognize them? Demons feed on human emotion, and they don't feed on positivity. They don't feed on happiness and joy. They feed on negativity. They feed on anger. They feed on jealousy. They feed on doubt. They feed on anything that is negative, and they will get into you through fear and through negative emotions. Um, I have my own demons. We all do. And I've conquered demons, but I still have demons that I I battle with on a daily basis, really. But years ago, the demons I had, they were much stronger. I had a lot of pain inside me, and that pain, this is how I recognize it in Nikki's mother. But like that pain and fear really didn't go away until the birth of my children. Like I still struggled with it, but after they were born, somehow, like I had let that go. I had let that pain go. So like I had a life filled with demons years ago, like around 2014, 2013, around there. You look at pictures of me, you can see I was very plagued with demons, and I doubted my religion. Really, I doubted my Catholicism. I was angry at it because I was just seeing the negative. I was just seeing that, oh, pedophiles, pedophiles. I wasn't seeing the good priests, the good people in the Catholic Church. I wasn't even seeing my own priest that I had as a child, who was just wonderful. I was looking at life through like glasses that turn everything negative. So that really had an impact, and the demons came in because I questioned. I didn't question Jesus, but I like questioned. I mean, I did question Jesus, I guess. I got into the Gnostic Gospels, just all sorts of nonsense that the demons love. They love it when you question your faith. I did that, and yeah, demons got in, and when demons come in, they mess with your judgments, and it's hard to get them out. Like, it really took the birth of my children to just shake me and to really like see again. And I caught a glimpse of the world that I used to know before. Like, I was infested with demons, and I grabbed it. I grabbed it. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna let go. I'm coming back to you. So I started thinking more positively. I started letting a lot of pain go, a lot of anger go, a lot of jealousy go. Um, and I still have to like deal with that, you know. But that's how the demons get in, through negative emotions and fear. Fear is their biggest entryway. If you're afraid, that's you might as well be just opening yourself up and saying, "Come on in, demons. You're welcome here. So don't be afraid." That's why, Christ was just about like, fear not, do not be afraid. Have faith in yourself. Have faith that God will take care of you. Just have faith and live in the moment. That's another big thing. We can't live in the future and worry about tomorrow, because that's just going to cause anxiety and panic. And you can't live in the past, that's just going to cause depression. If you think woulda, shoulda, coulda, you're going to get depressed, and it doesn't work. You have to live in the now. You can't be afraid, and you can't think negatively. I know that's hard to do. Some aspects are harder for other people. You know, some people might have a harder time thinking positively rather than living in the now. Some people might have a harder time living in the now than thinking positively. But you really just kind of have to do that, at least for me. And I still struggle with this. I really do. But, I just try to live in the moment, live in the now. I try not to worry about tomorrow, and I try not to think about yesterday's shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I try not to be afraid. And, I do pretty well at not being afraid. But the big one is back to Nikki's mother. So she never really took the time to deal with her own demons, and they just grew to a strength that is debilitating. Like, she's debilitated by her demons, and it's I pity the woman, but at the same time, like, she never has anything nice to say to her own daughter. She has always put her down, whatever she's done. She is a hairdresser, and of course they went to school together. They're one person, Nikki and her mother. They're one person. Anything I say to Nikki goes right to her mother. So when she was a hairdresser, she would always tell her what she was doing wrong, and not in a helpful way to critique her to help her improve. It was always just like, "Oh, no, you can't do it. You're not going to be able to do it, honey. I'm sorry." And the thing about her is, like, if you met her, you might think she was sweet until you talked to her for 5 minutes. Then you'd see who she really was after 5 minutes. But she hides it pretty well around people. Well, she thinks she does. She doesn't. If you talk to people around town, they know who she is. And most people, like, they don't speak well of her, which is sad. But she's a master of manipulating situations. She needs to be in control. She's a very skilled liar, and she is excellent at taking something and turning it around on her target. And I am usually her target, right? So, just for example, I had a lot of other examples tonight, but I don't want to bore you and drag this on. Sometimes she'll complain and be like, "Oh, why aren't you working? Why aren't you working enough? You don't work enough, blah, 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 blah." And then other days, I'll be like, "I can't help with the kids as much today. I got to go to work." And she'll be like, "Oh my God, you work too much. You're working. Why are you working too much?" It's insane. It's enough to drive a person insane. And I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day about this. I was like, how do I free Nikki from this bond her mother has fused with her. And he said, you can't do it. That like that kind of sucks. He said that the only person who can is her mother. But according to Owen Benjamin, and I have seen this, warlocks and witches and wizards, they undo themselves. Their nonsense catches up with them, which is what I am seeing. But they will fight, and they will they will not go quietly. So when I deal with this person who I consider a very toxic person, very negative, and maybe you know somebody like this, maybe you have a boss like this, or a family member that you can't get away from, or you know someone in a similar situation, such as me, who someone you love is can't get away from somebody like this. Don't ever fight with them. Don't ever argue with them, because that's what they want. Their demons are going to love that, and it invokes and puts demons in you, and your demons that are now in you are going to love that, and it's just going to be a feeding frenzy for demons. Drugs can blind you, but so can wrath, so can anger, so can jealousy, so can any negative emotion. So never go at them with negativity, and be as clean and sober as you can, because these people will use anything to trip you up. Come at them with love. Don't come at them like, just try to ignore them. Try to just not even say anything to them, and don't use positivity as a haha gotcha. Don't play that game with them. Don't play the game of I'm gonna up you, I'm gonna outdo you on this, I'm gonna expose you. Don't try to expose them. Like in my case, I have done that. I have gotten into several very heated arguments with this woman, with Nikki's mother, and I always lose, because Nikki will always take her side, even when it's clear as day that I'm right. Nikki will always take her side, even when her mother is physically attacking me, which has happened. She'll always take her side. Now there are times, and these times have been recently, where Nikki has come to me and expressed how horrible it is living with her mother, and how she needs to get away from her. So that is proof that that her mother is unraveling, and she is causing her own undoing. So at this point, it's very important that and if you are in a situation like this, you don't engage them on their level. They're going to want you to fight with them. They're going to want to get a reaction out of you. They're going to want you, any hint of negativity, any hint. I told Nikki yesterday that I was going for a job tomorrow, to go see about a job, and I told her it was for ARC, area, the transport thing, because I knew she'd tell her mother, but it's not for that at all. I saw her mother tonight, and she was like, "Oh, your interview tomorrow. Make sure you ask a lot of questions. Just ask them a lot of questions," which is ridiculous. At a job interview, you don't sit there and ask the interviewer a lot of questions. I don't know if she thinks I'm an idiot or what she's doing. And then she also said, "Oh, I have a friend who has a second job there, and ask him about having to clean people." She uses much more vulgar language. She's a very vulgar woman, but she was talking about cleaning people after they have to use the restroom. And she was saying, trying to discourage me about the job. She was telling me "Oh, how disgusting it is." And I just kind of laughed and said, "I already do that. Thanks for the advice." And then that was it. I didn't give her a negative reaction. I didn't give her what she wanted. When I left tonight, I told her I loved her, and I sincerely meant it. That's the only way you can deal with these people. You have to love them. And you have to sincerely mean it. You can't be like, I love you in a way that is like in your mind, I'm going to one up you, or I'm going to mess with you because I know you hate it. Because I've been there. I've been there. I have. You have to sincerely say it and mean it and act out of love and just always be positive with them. And they hate it. They hate it. They will try to, throw you off guard. They will try to invoke negativity from you. Don't let them don't let that happen. Don't let them do that to you. But after a while, they can't take the positivity. Like someone who's very, very possessed and very just under the control of demons, they can't take the positivity, and oftentimes they'll just kind of smile or fake smile and walk away. Now Nikki's mom is not. She's not a sociopath or a psychopath. There's a real human being in there, but she is a witch, and like Owen Benjamin talks about his father being a wizard. I equate it to that, except where Owen Benjamin's dad even seen his grandchildren, Nikki's mother wants to consume them. She wants to do to them what she did to Nikki, but I'm here and I'm not letting it happen. It's not going to happen as long as I'm here. I laugh because I think of like this woman would be overjoyed if I died tonight. That's how bad it is. That's how bad her demons are. They're that bad. That's all that was on my mind tonight. It's just demons. You can recognize them within yourself if you start to have fears or doubts or any negative emotion brewing. Just fight it. Pray to God. Pray to Jesus. Say the Lord's Prayer. Say the prayer of St. Francis, which is a great prayer my buddy taught me. Just pray and don't let them in. And when you deal with people who haven't fought through their own demons or are just completely blinded and think that they don't have any or have embraced them and need them, don't fight fire with fire. Never give them what they want. Never react negatively. Always just love them. I think that's why Christ said love your enemy. I think that's what he meant. Like when dealing with people like that, you have to love them, and that's how you win. But don't make it about winning and losing. You know what I mean? Don't make it a battle. Just love them and don't let them in. Don't let them in here. Because if they get in here, they'll get into your heart and soul, and then the demons will get in. So stay strong, stay positive, and stay faithful to God and yourself. All right. This is Sean Kelly wishing you all a very good evening. Good night, and God bless you. And please like and subscribe to this channel. And I am very grateful to those of you who watch these videos. I love all of you. And if you would like to contribute, I have PayPal information in the description below. It would be much appreciated. Contribute to help defeat the demon. But if not, don't worry about it. I love you all the same. Stay true to yourselves. Good night and God bless.